I'm going to tell you the 7 key secrets to writing amazing content. But before you wonder how to start writing amazing content, the first question you should ask yourself is, what kind of content am I willing to write about day in, day out for many, many years without feeling bored or burning out? Because if you're not passionate about the topic, the whole experience will be purgatory. So secret number 1 is passion. What won't people do because of passion? Travel thousands of miles to find their lover, passion. Forget to eat and sleep because of passion. Bite their nails, cry, scream, deflate because of passion. Therefore, the first point in writing amazing content is to find your area of interest. This is particularly important as you can display authenticity and people strongly connect with authentic people. And don't think for a second that because people cannot see you, they cannot feel your passion or lack thereof. Passion is great, but passion for passion can lead to the digital course of burnout. So to avoid that, make sure you match that passion with an audience need. That's a pretty tough exercise because first of all, you need to find that audience and then you need to curate the content to fit that audience. But I have 3 key tips you can use to find your audience and then we can move into creating the type of content this audience will be interested in. So the first tip to help with your audience is to what I call mimic the masters. So you have competitors. So find out your top competitors. They are easy to find. They are the one ranking on the first page of Google and then analyze their readers, especially go into the comment section and read what they say in the comment. Special tips, you want to find the comments people comment on because that's where all the insight is. Because if the guy who made the comment have other people comment on it, it means it touches sensitive topics. So it's likely that you can find some insight there. And then once you look at the comment section, try to figure out the profile of the readers in terms of sex, age, geographical locations. All these tips are very important for you because the more data you've got, the better it is for you to really profile your target reader and create the kind of content they want to read about. And another thing to look at for are recurrent questions. So what type of questions people leave in the comment section? Another aspect of analyzing the masters is analyze the flow of their content. How do they break it down? You will see they don't just provide a list of data or a list of words. They do specific things. You need to find out what they do and make sure that you create something better than them. The second tip in finding your target audience is to look at what sticks. So you just throw a bunch of content and see which ones stick with your readers and what they say. And based on their comments, you kind of curate more and more toward the feedback they're giving you. So compared to the first tip, this type of method is cheaper and faster. The drawback is you have less data, so you might be wasting a lot of time creating content people are not interested in. So the best thing to do is a mix of both, where you do a bit of research, analyze your competition, at the same time you create content because you don't want to be just an analytical guy who spend a lot of time analyzing things but don't create any content. But you do a bit of analysis and then you create your content, so you mix both. And the more you move forward, the better your data will be and the more precise you will be in terms of content that you create for these people. The third tip in finding your audience is to use Google Trends. This will help you match what you want to talk about with what is trending currently. And this is a very effective way to be relevant now. So the third secret is to structure your content to make it engaging. So before you even start writing anything, any piece of content, you need to find a way to structure your content to captivate your audience, engage them and re-engage them continuously throughout. Otherwise, they will leave your website in a heartbeat. So you must have a framework that captivates that idea of engaging your audience, your reader throughout. Luckily for you, I've made such a framework, which is also available for free on my website. So you want to take your audience on a journey where the story is getting better and better and better and better and better. Basically, you want them to keep asking, and what happened, and what happened? So your story could be filled with twists and turns. In fact, your content should be made of sub-contents that are mini stories or stories on their own, but that some are cohesively linked to one another. The fourth key secret in writing amazing content is to follow the TV series strategy. Have you ever wondered how they do it? How can they make each part of their story connect? If you want to know how, you can check this video. I explain it all there. But in essence, one of their key secrets is creating mini stories that goes as far as possible from the original plot, but somehow, miraculously, converge back to the main plot. So let's say you are going to write about how you climb Mount Everest. The first thing you could do, instead of just talking about, oh yeah, you went to Mount Everest and you climbed it, you could break it down in different phases. The first phase could be like, oh, you were overweight, the only thing you wanted was losing weight. So you could talk about how much you struggled losing weight. Then another chapter, another post could be how you almost got killed by a bear while you were practicing in your local mountain area. Another interesting one could be how you had to sleep for 3 days in a jail cell because you had the wrong visa. Or how you almost never got started because you met a beautiful girl and fell in love, and so on and so on. The key here is to have the reader asking, and what happened next? So the more you do that, the more engaged they are. If they are engaged on the paragraph level, on the post level, or on a multi-post level, then you're a winner here. So it pays to analyze a bit a successful TV series, and based on what you're watching, ask yourself, oh, how is this script written? How do they diverge from mini stories to mini stories, but keep the main plot live? You can also do it by reading interesting books and get the inspiration from these books. But I found analyzing TV series is a little bit more engaging because you can check the plot, you can see the plot visually, and you can kind of work out what's happening. So the secret number 5 is to format your content to match the reader's attention span. Readers tend to have a very short attention span and like to take a break. So you must make sure that the framework of your content reflects that. And that's the reason why it builds back up from following the TV series strategy. If you just give your content in a flat, one kind of paragraph way, it'll be very difficult for the readers to follow. So that's why it's good if you can break it down. So in essence, treat each paragraph as a story on its own, where you're trying to attract the reader, engage him or her on a paragraph per paragraph basis. So the secret number 6, and it's an obvious one, is to show your professionalism. So English might not be your first language. However, you still need to make sure your content is very easy to digest. One tip is to read it loudly. It's a very important tip because when you write your ideas, sometimes they are not so fluid. So you need to be able to read it loudly, fluidly, to make sure your content is flawless, easy to read and easy to digest. On the other hand, if you cannot even bother rereading your writings and your content, don't even bother publishing, because your audience will be as interested in reading your story as you are in rereading it. So the last secret number 7 in writing amazing content, is to practice with severity. The more you write, the easier it becomes. But in essence, you should aim at improving yourself with each piece of content you release. Some of the best way to improve is to seek advice from people who could read you. Another way could be to study what makes good writing. For example, I like to read and study very popular magazines or newspapers like New York Times or Vogue, whatever magazine you like, read them, study more than one magazine or newspapers, because when you do that, you will realize something. They tend to have the same structure. And then if you copy the structure, the skeleton, and apply it to your content, you've done 70% of the work. So as I told you, basically you're creating content to attract, engage on a continuous basis, and retain. So from your title and image and thumbnail all the way to your reading recommendation, you want to continuously attract, engage, re-engage, and retain. So you need to make sure your paragraphs are consistent and short enough, that you have a break in between them, that each paragraph is kind of a story in its own, and then the whole thing flows down easily so that you can push your other content. Alright, so if you wrap up what we talked about, there are 7 secrets to writing amazing content. The first one is to find your passion. If you're not passionate about what you're going to write about, believe me, you will burn out, and you don't want this. The second thing is find the audience that will support your passion and be there day in and day out for you. The third secret is to structure your content to keep it engaging, so with the help of mini stories. The fourth secret is to study from the best. So follow TV series, for example, and understand how they branch out with mini stories from their main plot, and how they converge these mini stories back to support the main plot. So to keep it engaging on a second per second basis. The secret number 5 is to format your content. So format it to avoid losing your audience, because your audience have a very low attention span. So you must reflect that in your writing with shorter paragraphs, breaks in between, and keep it engaging and fresh. Secret number 6 is an obvious one, but you need to make sure your professionalism shows, because believe it or not, people can see your professionalism through your writing. And last secret is to practice over and over and over. By practicing, not only you become better, but you outdo your competitors. So in my next video, I will show you everything on writing the perfect blog post. So we will build from these 7 key secrets, but I'll go in details, real detail. We will cover how to practically find your audience, identify relevant keywords using keyword research tools, so understanding the difference between long tail, medium tail, and short tail keywords, and how you can position yourself with these keywords, understanding your competitor by analyzing them and analyzing their content in detail. I will also give you a framework that covers how you write a well-structured piece of content by using 2 case studies of very popular magazines and newspapers. And you will see that they tend to use the same framework. So the framework is what you want to duplicate when you create your content and your blog posts. We will also maximize on thumbnails, titles, meta descriptions with case studies. We will also use Google snippet sections effectively so that your answers can get ranked there. We will also cover mapping out with link juice, with attracting people from different social media platform to your website. And lastly, we will cover how you retain people on your website. So it's going to be an amazing video, and before I release it, if there is anything you want me to cover that I haven't mentioned there, let me know in the comment section below. Hop, 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 hop. Me doing my French voice here. I cannot let you leave without asking you to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and leave your comments in the comment section below. Because I have a lot of amazing content coming out, from storytelling to technical information, like writing SEO optimized content, analyzing your competitors, and hundreds of amazing videos. And the more feedback you give me, the better my video will be for you.